I got to the roundabout. The
Yeah,
roundabout.
wanted to bring that up. The world's first underwater slash underground roundabout.
Yeah,
How
I
did they
mean
do that? Like,
that beats anything I'll ever write. You like no music as well I'll ever release will be as important as that roundabout.
Hey, I'm Baby Queen.
Hi, I'm Katie Beza.
Hey, this is Ram McMullen.
Hi guys, Lara here.
Hey, I'm Jim Koala.
Hello, this is Dagny.
And you are listening to Léim Thart.
And you're listening to Léim Thart.
And you're listening to Léim Thart.
It's out now.
I really hope you enjoy it.
So enjoy.
Right. I watched 15 minutes of the documentary thing, so I'm like,
okay.
what up?
Yeah. So yeah, that's actually exactly where I was going to start. So Fred Roberts, welcome back to Léim Thart. It's been quite the year since you were last on. And yeah, the first thing I really wanted to talk about, which is completely sidetracked to what the listener is expecting, is that we've discussed a lot of things over the past year, kept in touch since the last episode and learned a lot of different things, but only yesterday found a new shared interest. So I'm a sucker for the corner of YouTube about like engineering, construction, infrastructure, logistics. Yeah. And yesterday I found a new one about tunnels that they dug under the Faroe Islands, which is costing like hundreds of millions, but the like scattering of islands up there, it connects 90% of the population by road. They don't have to be like bound by the ferry. And so when I brought this up, Fred was only delighted by the prospect of it. So I said, don't say anything to me, watch it, and then come back to me when we're talking today. So what are your thoughts?
See, you've like come prepared with the facts. Like you're the 90% of the population. That's correct. Like, wow. Yeah, is it the B1M channel? Like they like so many videos on that. Like, yeah, if there's any, it's like the tallest building in the world, or like any video that I'm instantly like clicking onto it. But yeah, I watched because it was only yesterday, so I was watching it like whilst making porridge. So I like got 15. I've done 15 minutes of it, and I actually didn't get to the point where like they explain how they're able to do it. Like, and do you know what I mean? Like, is there a part of the video where they explain like this is costing like so much money? How are they like?
Yeah, that's where I got all this info from. It's from like the rest of the video, and it shows like the impact it has in terms of the time they meet residents, they meet the engineers involved. It's like half an hour long. It's like watching a full TV show. Yeah. It's amazing.
Yeah, because like the first 15 minutes is mostly just like beautiful shots of like the Faroe Islands landscape and like I got to the roundabout.
Wanted to bring that up. The world's first underwater slash underground roundabout. Yeah, how did they do that? Like
that beats anything I'll ever write. You like no music as well I'll ever release will be as important as that roundabout. Yeah. And like and I did see like the explosives. Like I got to the bit where they like put the explosives in the holes, and then that's like how they create it. But yeah, I mean, cool, good for them. Like, just the idea of like an underground like water tunnel. Like, imagine if we could drive. Okay, we can on the train. Ireland. Mm-hmm. Can we? No, we can't. There isn't an underground water tunnel to Ireland.
No, there was. Like centuries ago, or at least according to one of our most popular myths, there was like a walkway between like the north, like north of Belfast on the coast between there and Scotland, and it's now like the Giant's Causeway.
A bridge.
It was the story is that it became like a bridge that someone built between like Northern Ireland and Scotland, and it's now the Giant's Causeway because it was a giant.
Oh, okay, so it is a myth. You're right. Yeah. Yeah, a giant built a massive bridge from Ireland to Scotland. Yeah,
but I mean, I was only discussing last Friday, I think, with someone that you can now get a bus from Dublin to London. So you get on 8 p.m. in Dublin, get the ferry to Holyhead, and then you're in Victoria like 12 hours later.
Wow. So I saw, I don't know where it was. It's somewhere like Switzerland, somewhere in Europe. There's a train that goes onto a boat. Have you seen?
No.
That was a new one. I was like, it's like this like old, it's like some sort of sleeper train that goes somewhere, and then you get another train, and on the boat are the train tracks. So like the boat like like goes onto the track, and then the train goes on the boat, and then it goes like yeah, because I think it's some sort of sleeper, so like you have your room, so like you don't want to like move whatever. But that was I wish I knew where it was, but that is a thing, and that's like that blew my mind. So
That is so cool. Okay, I'm gonna put the Faroe Islands video in the show notes, so you know anyone. I would traditionally say the male audience, but anyone can be interested in this.
anyone,
They can
anyone,
watch it afterwards and send me on whatever that Swiss sleeper train is, and I'll put that down
that might
afterwards
have been
too.
that might have been a TikTok, but I'm sure someone on YouTube has filmed that.
Even if it's a TikTok, we can still put it
But
on. I want to see it.
yeah, no, I'll send it. I will send it. But yeah,
Thanks very much, Fred. So, it's been a year since the first time we spoke for your
oh
debut single, Runaway.
yeah,
Just starting to get to know you and your music, the message you want to put out. And since then, there's been a lot more. We just had one song to play with, and now we have a number of live shows, including two packed out headline shows, over 1 million streams on just Spotify later. We have a full EP now. So, like, what's been the highlight of the last year?
all the highlights. To begin with, I can't believe it's already been a year. Like, what's happening with time? Like, I don't know. Like, yeah, Runaway feels like I released that yesterday. Like, I feel like I was probably I feel like I'm in the same background that I was last time. Like, sitting.
You are. You exactly are. I'm on the other side of the country compared to the last time, but you're in the same place.
Yeah, yeah. This is my like Zoom background. Like, this is the one of the house. Yeah, I don't know. Like the highlight. I think two highlights. First highlight, probably releasing Disguise, and then seeing, because I feel like the first two singles were these like anthemic kind of like driven upbeat pop songs that I love, and then like with the third single I was like, I just want to like, I want something that's like gonna hit harder, you know what I mean? Like the words of Say like is literally just like me begging someone to stay. Like that's sad, but you don't get that same like gut punch of emotion, do you know what I mean? And like Skies was literally just the most honest way I could tell a very personal story, and the whole soundscape of it was perfect and just this like dream world. And then seeing people like connect with that song and the messages and the impact it's having on like just like just like people, do you know what I mean? Like because that story is so personal, and it's like well, the experience is quite like related to being queer, and like it's not like an experience that many like straight people would, you know what I mean? It's just like that, like connecting with that community I think was like really cool. And then just like seeing how people like, I don't know, like someone said like it gave them words to describe how they're feeling, do you know what I mean? And that's just like as big as like anything ever, you know what I mean? That was like one highlight. And then the second headline show in March, like was just like, so you came to the first one, which was sick, like loved that one. But it was mostly family and friends, and I just released a second single I think, and you know what I mean, like no one knew the rest of the songs. And the one in March, it was just this packed out room of like people I'd never seen before. I was like, where have you all come, like who are you? It's like a long like process of I don't know, like you can see the numbers online, and like it's sick to see that, but when you see it in person and then like there's someone crying over and it's like, well, hold on a minute, like I'm not just like, this doesn't just exist on my phone. This is like people, like the same way that I listened to music and digested it and cared about it, people are doing the same thing. And that's the craziest part of all this, is just seeing that in real life. And so that March show, I feel like that was my first like proper show, do you know what I mean? And like it's always gonna like have a very special place. Just like the safety in that room, and just like the niceness, and people started queuing at like 2, and I was like, what is happening? Like, this is crazy. So it just and people made friends. Like, it was just so nice. It was so that was probably the highlight of the last year, and that was only in March. So
For sure. And I think it was a good timing that you put Disguise out when you did, because it really suited the fact that it got dark very early, and you could be walking home under a street light, and the coldness is getting in. And I know it's not on the recording, but we both discussed having been to Berlin in the height of winter. And I can actually imagine now walking around specifically Berlin listening to it.
Yeah, well, so I went to Berlin for a week of writing, and at the end of the week, the song came out, and I was working with a friend, Pablo. We went out in the evening, and like, it was like -1 degrees, and just walking around the streets and like listening to the song. And I was like, yeah, this is the world that the sky has come from. You know what I mean? It was like snowing on the trees, and yeah, I don't know. I just love that song so much, and I feel like Naive captures that same like essence almost. You know what I mean, it's like I mean, I like put on Twitter the other day that my fourth streamed artist is myself, and like
Yeah, I saw that.
what people like react to that. Like, and then one of my other friends is like number 6, and he was like, "I'm your number 6 most artist of all time," and I was like, "Yeah, like, I don't just love the music." But yeah, I don't know. It's probably just from Naive. Like that song and the ooze at the beginning just take me back to like a certain place, which I love. So, well, I
Yeah,
don't love it.
definitely a sucker punch.
Very sad song, but I love to feel that emotion. You know what I mean? Like it's the saddest song I've ever written, but just I love to dwell in it.
And these all have come together on the Sound of My Youth EP. It's brand new. And I remember your first show back in Soho in September, where we met in person for the first time. I remember even in like the height of the sort of getting caught up in the atmosphere of it all, you still were able to like for a second quiz me about what my favorite songs were. And not to take credit for your A&R, because they're clearly doing a good job, but I remember specifically alongside Runaway and Say, which we all had, I didn't have names for them yet, but I was like, Naive, Disguise, Sound of My Youth. And that has become the track list now.
Yeah, definitely the September show. I feel like I think I knew by then that Disguise was gonna be the next one, but like Sound of My Youth, after playing it on that night, and I think it was the last song I played.
It was, yeah.
And building and building and building, and then I just like I'd never felt so connected to, you know what I mean? Like that song, and everyone loved it. And then I went to Germany the week after and played 2 festivals and played it there, the same set. And again, it was just like it's just a song you throw yourself around to. You're not really sure what I'm talking about, but like it's, you know what I mean? Like you can either just like the chorus is just this euphoric like release of emotion, but yeah, it's got these lyrics that aren't just a throwaway. But like I don't know, I just like the fact that you can probably choose between like how you're feeling towards a song. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to like that one. Like you can just But yeah, I like the mixture.
For sure. And I saw like when you announced the EP, a lot of listeners were very excited, especially after your second show just in March, which was, even bigger and even more sold out than the first one. And yeah, I suppose that song is just a really energetic one, as the title track. And you said in the notes that I have that you went to LA immediately after releasing Runaway. But I also remember you went to LA like the day after we recorded our last episode. Was this when you wrote Sound of My Youth?
Yes. I went to LA in May last year. That last one, yeah. Was it May? I don't know. It was around this time last. Oh, it was when Coachella was happening. So yeah, it probably would have been like straight, or maybe I just missed it. But yeah, I went. Yeah, I would have had Runaway out. Went to LA. I can't remember the order of it. Anyway, but I think I had the first song out, and then it was. I wrote Sound of My Youth like a week. I think I was there for like 7 days, and on the last day of writing, my producer and this we work with Anthony, like this quite like a frequent collaborator. And
who has like a Grammy and an Oscar and everything like that.
He does. And he's modest about it too. So he actually is. And yeah, they were both just like, let's just write. And because the whole week, like Andrew likes to push me and like take me into different directions, and that's great. Do you know what I mean? And like exploring different paths that we can explore. On the last day, it was literally like, let's just do what you want to do. And then Sound of My Youth is, I feel, exactly what I still want and what I wanted Fred Roberts. Like that is the song that sums it all up. Do you know what I mean? It's like I love these big anthemic songs like the Killers, but I love the storytelling of Troye Sivan, and you know what I mean? And I feel like that song is like a perfect embodiment of that. And yeah. So
yeah. And has this message of sort of not being too hard on yourself and that you are still kind of trying your best and just keeping the perspective that not everything is perfect, and yeah, it's just kind of accepting things.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm the worst at taking my own advice, but I love to give it.
Oh,
Uh,
same.
yeah, but yeah, Sound of My Youth is just well, it started off with this like letter to my younger self. Not letter, like I'm still singing to my younger self in the song, but it was just like you're running from failure, like you're just doing everything too fast, you're gonna trip up and make a mistake. And as you get like through the song, it's just this like realization that like everything repeats itself, everything has a cycle, and the chorus I just wanted to be like I'm still dancing to the sound of music. Like it's just this fun, like like I'm still making the same mistakes. And yeah, I'd like to think I'm less hard on myself, but I don't know, I have a personality where I just like want to keep on like bettering everything, which is good, like to have that ambition. But I think yeah, from writing that song and like unpacking that, and yeah, it's definitely being like, no, Fred, like it's fine, it's a journey, you know what I mean? And I think like that's the important thing I'm trying to like focus on, is that it is a journey, and it's not like, it would be weird if everything was perfect straight away. Like I wouldn't buy into that. Like if you know what I mean, like I wouldn't. I want to see a journey. So yeah, I'm just like trying to remember that like I'm growing and I'm young, and yeah, it's one day I'll be perfect. So yeah.
Definitely. And of course, all these songs draw from your own experiences, and you've spoken how, especially the two more sad, more overtly sad songs, should we say, like Disguise and Naive, how personal they are. When, not only when you're writing, but then when you're sort of planning your release, how do you sort of do the balance between wanting to keep the honesty, but not wanting to kind of give too much away and keep your own sense of privacy? Because in a sense, once you put a song out, it belongs to everyone else.
That's the thing, and I don't, yeah, I think that like especially with Disguise and Naive, like my favorite artist is Troye Sivan. Like I like the reason why I connected so much with his music, and then like more recently now, like I feel like I have the same experience with Lizzie McAlpine and her new album. It's like they're both just being completely honest and raw and just sharing it with the world, and so that's like something I really want to like do. But yeah, it is that like weird fine line of like, oh, okay, wait, everyone knows this, like no one knows your like most vulnerable moments. Do you know what I mean? Like except like friends. Do you know what I mean? Like, and that's like the normal experience. Like you just you go through things and people help you. And like, but for me, like I saw a quote actually, and it was like, I don't know if you saw it, but I put on my story, and it was like I like confronting an experience. Oh, I can't remember it. It's on my phone. Anyway, like the sentiment of it was like I like confronting experience and resolving it as art. That was it. And like that, I think for me like sums it up. Like I don't keep a journal. I don't talk on my feelings as much as I probably should do. And having like songwriting and putting it all into that, and then boxing it up, and especially like Sound My Youth, like I feel like I really have just like boxed it all up and like packed it away. So that's been really therapeutic. But yeah, it's weird like explaining what the song's about, and then also I feel like Naive has changed its meaning, like as songs do, you know what I mean? Like I wrote that song 2 years ago, and obviously like a lot's happened since then, and yeah, like that's been another like thing to navigate. And just yeah, because like I want to be open about it, but I don't want to, like when I was singing it in September, I like nearly started crying. So it's like finding that balance of being open, but yeah, not breaking down. So yeah.
It'll all come in time, and you're taking the songs on the road across the summer. You do festivals across the UK, all the way from Brighton to Sunderland. There's The Great Escape, Latitude, Truck Festival, and then later in the year, you're doing even more gigs. You've got Glasgow and you've got London, in O'Meara. Like these are bigger and better once again. So what are you doing to prepare for this year on the road? On stage.
I mean, I think we're starting rehearsals like next week for Brighton, and then because Brighton's the first one. Is it this month? Is it May yet? No. Is it? No.
It is when this comes out.
It's May now. So yeah, I probably have already done the rehearsals. But yeah, so we're just starting rehearsals for that. Figuring out like what song to put, just because like the London show in March was obviously like, I don't know, like probably 50 minutes or whatever. We've only got 30 minutes for the festivals, and just making sure there's that balance of like who I am as an artist, and then like these upbeat like festival sounding songs. You know what I mean? Like I've got them. They're there. So yeah, we're just trying to figure that out. Yeah, and then Amira and King Tut's in November. Crazy. I've got a while to promote that, so that's good. But yeah, like they're just like two iconic venues. Like I haven't been to King Tut's, but like I'm just aware of how, you know what I mean, how big and cool that is. And then like Amira, I mean, I went on stage with my friend Neve in February, and so that like place holds like it's just like a special place in my heart now. So it'd be cool, yeah. Like it'd be cool to go back and do that. But yeah, I'm just like, and then also writing and also trying to figure out what comes next. Which yeah, it's all a fun journey. So yeah, I'm having fun and like yeah, just trying to figure it all out. But yeah.
Great. Big year ahead. Loads of music and festivals and just everything associated with music, I guess.
Music and underground tunnels. That's my year.
Music and underground tunnels. Thanks so much for coming back on Fred Roberts. And yeah, see where the year takes us.
Yeah, no, I loved it. Thank you.